Hi, welcome to One Word a Day. I'm Sophie, your pilot into the universe of Chinese. We are going to continue our flight in learning a little bit more of this amazing language. I going to talk a lot about marriage lately because we have this character wedding or in carry on, like a continuation from for a few episodes. So today, yesterday we talked about 新婚燕尔 of describing the newly wed state of as if they are sparrows. That's a contemporary understanding. Back then, there's the original story. You can check back to yesterday's video to hear the sad story behind this happy event. Okay, 四个婚礼和一个葬礼. Okay, today's is pretty lengthy, but don't be afraid. We have some very commonly used characters. And this is a contemporary translation, as you can see. It's a contemporary expression, and it's a translation. We talked about ancient practice of wedding, right? That happened at sunset. That's why we have woman plus sunset. And this is the sun going down. So sunset time, you have your girl on a man format mostly carried carriage to take her from her household to your household. So that's a practice of wedding, and of course a big dinner involved to celebrate. That's 婚, and we have 礼. Okay, it's not a sequential. I'm going to explain the major words first. 礼 talks about is ceremony mostly. Okay, we have the ancient word that looks like a lot more complicated. The only thing that keep is the left side. This is a simplified symbol of this thing. Okay, so this thing on the left side, two horizontal lines with one long stem of vertical line with two strokes on each side. That was what I called divine decoder table. So it was a common practice in ancient times, apparently, to read the intentions of the heaven, right? So somebody have to look at the sky and to forecast what's going to come this year, whether it's good timing for you to start farming season, or if this year you're going to have hardships, things like that. So this divine decoder have this kind of stand that facing apparently heaven, and then this person specialize in that are going to have some sort of reading from the sky and then tell people what to do. And so this whole structure is kind of like a podium for that person to communicate with the sky and communicate with humans. So the left and right and middle, so these used to be some symbols of forecast of the past, present, the future, all kinds of ways you can pack into the symbolism. But the structure for sure is about something related to such ceremony of divine intention decoder. Okay. And the right side is the offering to the divine. So we have this stand, right? Almost like a stool looking thing. So this is kind of a container, even with the lid on top of it. So it's a type of container. And then the top is another big portion container that goes quite deep. And this 3 horizontal lines, 2 vertical line structure in it is a abstraction of the harvest of that year. So crops. So these are some plants filled up to the full of this container. So this container whole thing was used as this offering on this offering ceremony to the heavenly, the divine, to say, okay, we give you our best harvest. So these are the crops of this year or something like that, right? And put it on top of this table structure as offering. So both the divine decoder, who is trying to understand what's the divine's intention, and this offering as humans talking back to the divine to say thank you, or to ask for more blessings. Both this reading and this responding sort of communication to the divine, right? To environment that's out of our control. This was captured as a ceremony. So the offering and the reading, both practice captured in this one frame, eventually to mean big ceremony. And that ceremony is about communication, either to understand or to respond to the divine. Okay, we have this repeated twice. Only this one paired with wedding, with the practice of getting a woman at sunset time, right? And this one is about the death, about burial people. It came quite visually. Okay, so we have this horizontal line. Most of the time when you see one horizontal line, I mean, over here is one, but it doesn't mean the same thing. Okay, so I just take back in between what I'm going to say. So in this case, this horizontal line, if you see grass, right, this is grass symbol, this upward turning bowl-shaped thing with this one vertical line, together it's grass. So oftentimes grass doesn't come with just one. We paired with one grass, another grass. So that's just two of them repeated next to each other. That's enough to mean multitudes of grass. And we have multitudes of grass over there as well. So it's kind of a bush, a lot of grass, right? And this supposedly horizontal line buried in the middle of it is kind of the ground looking. So we have a grass next to the ground, right? And then we have this character is a simplified human figure. I'm trying to see if any of the symbol have a human figure. No, it doesn't have. So we have, if you know just a little bit of Chinese, this shape is human. So two-leg standing being is a Chinese conceptual concept of what human is about. We are two-leg standing being. So this two-leg sometimes got stylized. And when it's stylized, it got kind of, one side is longer than the other side, not symmetrical like this. But in contemporary Chinese, if you see, it's very squarely placed symmetrical structure like this. Ancient Chinese sometimes stylize it like this. Okay, so this is human figure. And the left side is broken bones. So it's bone. Okay, if you went to a few episodes before, we talked about the body, how human body was depicted. So we have the bone and we have the meat. So that's the basic structure of the immobile and mobile portion of the human anatomy. And then this is a bone looking thing, but with the tip. So this arch with the horizontal line as a super simplification of bone and probably some joint of the bone. And then this kind of horizontal line there, kind sharp edge at the end of that shows it's broken. It's not a living thing anymore. So this portion means broken bones, human broken bones. So the whole thing means a dead body. So we use broken bone to represent a dead person, lifeless person. So it got to be person, right? So we're talking about the death of human, not animals. So we have to have a human side. We have this broken bone, and then it's buried underneath the grass and cover up with more grass, something close to the ground. So this is the concept or depiction of what, like how dead body, a passed away loved ones was processed, was buried under grass. So that is a funeral. So, okay, 葬 is the practice of a burial of human dead body, and paired with a li, that becomes ceremonial. So that becomes funeral definition. You can see in English, we have wedding, funeral, two very distinctive words that they themselves may have their own roots, right? But in Chinese, when we translate, we have this 礼. Li as the word between the two in the second position. So that's kind of a categorical word to show the language user that this is a ceremony we're talking about. We're talking about getting married practice ceremony. So that's a wedding. And here we're talking about getting some loved ones buried ceremony. So that's funeral. That's a combination of funeral. So all these are contemporary Chinese way to combining things and then to have a corresponding concept to show these are the major ceremonies, life events that we're having. It's something almost as divine as talking to the divine, the ancient practice. Okay, so now we have 四个和一个. Okay, both of them have this 个, right? This is repeated as well. This 个 symbol, you can see these are grass symbol, right? Grass have this up-tilted arch with vertical line. But when it's downward curve with a vertical line, that is bamboo symbol. And bamboo, I think bamboo almost is a symbol for Oriental culture, right? Because we don't really have a lot of bamboo in the West. So bamboo is a commonly seen plant in China, at least in maybe half of China covered with bamboo. So bamboo is fast growing, but super environmental friendly, I guess, in the sense of it requires a low water. Wait, is it low water? No, bamboo actually grows fast, but also live in humid. It doesn't live in high elevations. But in a certain temperature, bamboo are relatively fast growing and easier to maintain than a tree. So a lot of materials, Chinese tools are made from bamboo. So bamboo then become this symbol. So instead of this, it becomes this. So we have two of them together. That's the bamboo symbol, the full bamboo tree. Because when bamboo is growing, it's hardly just one stem of them, right? It's a whole cluster of them. The mother bamboo can easily have new shoots next to it. So the little baby bamboos grow next to the mother bamboo. So this cluster or this little societies of bamboo depicted by just two of them enough to show the repetition, to show the multitudes. But here, when we have a single out of it, just like this. That means exactly that. That means the count of just one. So there were some customs of counting. Okay, I love this about Chinese because Chinese, whenever we describe something, things, objects, we always have a unit of count toward it. And this 个 character came from the single stem of bamboo. That is the most commonly seen unit of measurement in Chinese. So when we count things, we can say 一个人, we can pair it with human, or 一个东西, so generic things, we call it East and West. So 东西 is our generic thing. It can be a pencil or a table or whatever. 东西 is a representing of random stuff you have, right? So we can use 个 to count as long as it's countable. Can be individuals. You can count them. We can pair it with 个. And in English, it's piece, right? So I have to follow the English tradition. If it is a 4, it's pieces, and here is piece. But in any case, this is single standing bamboo, which is used as the unit of count. And in ancient times, well, there's another topic when we have a tree. So tree would be counted with a different unit. So bamboo originally this counter unit of measurements used only on bamboo because it came from bamboo, right? Eventually extended to count any countable things. But tree has another unit of measurement. And that shows us that the distinction of trees and bamboos, two distinctive plants, and we treat them differently. They have their own unit of measurement. Okay, so there's good. If you learn a little bit of Chinese, you will come across this because it's commonly seen. Okay, we have 四 and 一. 一, nothing to say. It's, I think Chinese is so simple. When Chinese try to lure a new learner into this language, we can just show how we express the concept of numbers, the first three numbers, just 1, 2, 3, as simple as that. 一二三, right? That's as simple as that. So the 4, when it comes to 4, I mean, if we use this, we may still can, but this is too much. This is a lot. Horizontal line to draw. So instead, we convert it to vertical lines and circle them in. So these are just 4 lines going vertically, and they are packed in one frame. Number 4, okay. And 和, okay, have this and symbol there. The and symbol, and you can see contemporary Chinese and traditional one, they flipped the position of the two symbols. This become to the left. So this symbol 和 is a sound maker, right? It's crop, generic crop. You can see it almost look like a tree symbol, but with the top kind of tip to one side. That means it's fruit harvest. It's going to be harvested. The whatever crops is growing there, like wheat, are ripening, that it's kind of pulled down the tip, the top of the plant. I mean, very visual Chinese. So that's a crop symbol in general. And then the right side is the mouth symbol. So something related to speaking or singing, or, okay, I said earlier that we can use 个 on 人, right? Sometimes we also use 口, we use mouth to count human, a person. So instead of head count, we use mouse count. How many mouse count in your household, something like that. 几口人, right? Okay, but how come it becomes and? Okay, here's my interpretation. The original meaning of this crop with mouse is the picture of harmony or agreement or something peaceful. In fact, Chinese translate peace as 和平. 平 is flat. And 和 is this harmony, this union of two, at least two, right? Different elements come together. They are harmonious. And why it means harmony? I'm thinking because humans consume crops, right? When humans and crops almost like a paired 1-to-1 ratio, it almost like imply you have enough food to feed people. Everybody got their piece of the pie from the production of the society. So that's the harmony when you don't have to fight for food, when you have enough. You don't have an oversupply here either, but you just have enough to have crop next to the mouse, the consumer. The production and consumption, when they equalize, that's the moment of harmony, right? So eventually this harmony extended to mean and, because when we talk about harmony, it always comes with multiple components, right? It has to be this and this, they are in harmony. Just like this production and consumption in these two symbols, they have to be two elements, and they are in harmony, they in balance. I mean, not anti-balance, okay? It means they are in union of balance. So this eventually become a connector word. It means two elements, A plus B, A and B. So this is contemporary Chinese and you can see this 和 very, very often because we often say something and something else, right? So and is a commonly used word. And when we translate it into Chinese, it has to be 和. And now you know 和 comes from this harmonious society when the supply and demand in equal in, that's the in harmony. Okay, so now translation could be pretty clear, right? It's just this movie of 4 weddings and a funeral. You can see this is a flyer for this. You can see this translated 4个婚礼 4 weddings and 和一个 funeral 葬礼. So this is how it was translated. Nothing fancy about it, just show you we have this 礼 and then we have 个 right? And then 和 is I think is the highlight of today of how Chinese visualize and it comes from the harmony. Okay, cashing into the currency of thinking by one word a day with Sophie. See you another day.